Hey, it's Jillian Schlegel, author, intuitive healer, conscious creation coach, and creator of Kinetic Divination. And I'm here to talk today about what selling the throat chakra and the inner child have in common. So stick around for that video. And if you're feeling into what's going on in the world today and you have a business, if you're a healer, if you're a coach, and you want to show up and you want to share what you have to offer, you want to help, but you have this kind of resistance to showing up and selling because there's so much going on, then I'd love for you to stay tuned for this video because I'm going to give you some tools to shift that. If we are a healer, if we're a coach, and we have tools that people can use, it's our job to show up. It's our job to share what we have to offer. And we can be offering in a different way. And I want to kind of bring that to the forefront of your mind right now. If you have something that is useful, is helpful for the people who are going through a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, maybe they're not feeling well, maybe you're a healer, and it is your job to show up and tell people what you have to offer. But that is difficult sometimes, especially if you're an empath, if you're a highly sensitive person and you're feeling that anxiety, you're feeling the fear. We have Phoenix is being a little brat right now. Right before I went live, she just started. I don't know what's going on. So if you hear stuff, that is Phoenix. She's wanting attention, I think. And not that she doesn't get enough of it. Oh, man. I think that's one of my crystals that she's got. Anyway, hopefully you guys don't hear that. Hey, enough. So let me know if you guys are here with me. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know how you're doing. And let's get right into it. I want you to feel into what you have to offer. I don't know if you can hear that or not. It's driving me crazy. I'm trying to focus. I may have to go take that away from her. Let me know if you have something that you're wanting to bring to the forefront and say to people, hey, I have this to offer and I can help you. But you feel resistant to do that. And when we're selling something, I want you to feel into what that is that you have to offer. So feeling into your offer, your program, your service, your healing system, whatever it is that you have, I want you to feel into whatever it is that you have to offer people. And I want you to feel into how that feels. If you were to show up right now and just put that out on the table, create a post, offer it, how aligned does that feel? Does it make you feel icky? Does it make you feel like you shouldn't do that? It's unsafe. Really feel into that. And oftentimes we have a lot of feeling in our body where it's going to show up, where that resistance shows up. When we have something to sell, something to promote, something to offer. And I want you to check in right now with your body and how that feels. And I'd love for you to check in specifically with your throat. And feel into whether your throat is 100% aligned, your throat chakra is aligned with providing this service. Now, how you can do this is you just feel into your body. You can also muscle test. So muscle testing, as many of you know, I use a pendulum to muscle test. You don't need to use a pendulum. You can do what some people call it the sway test. I call it the body pendulum, which is you just feel into your body and you ask your body what is yes, and you allow your body to move a certain way. Most of the time I lean forward for yes, and then you ask your body what does no feel like, and you allow your body to sway, and usually I lean back for no, or being pulled back for no. So feeling into your body, you can check in and see, say throat chakra, are you 100% aligned with showing up online and saying, hey, I have this, I'm a healer, I'm a coach, I have this that I'm available, and I'm available to serve you, to provide this service. And check in with your throat chakra to see if your throat chakra is 100% aligned. And when you do that, and you feel into your body and feel into the sway test or the body pendulum, does it feel light or heavy? There's a bunch of different ways you can test this, but feeling into your body and feeling into your throat chakra and seeing if the throat chakra is 100% aligned. And then checking in with, we have inner child archetypes, and all of us have these archetypes in our life that are playing behind the scenes. They can be called shadow aspects or shadow archetypes. And the inner child often pops up when there's something that is keeping us from moving forward, something that's keeping us from attaining a goal because it's safer to be where you are. And that could be the inner child archetype. So you'd again want to check in with your inner child, and all you need to do is ask, inner child, are you 100% on board with me showing up with this offer? And just putting it out there, checking in with your inner child, and really just asking your body, asking your inner child, asking your throat chakra. There are different aspects of ourselves that are programmed to keep us safe. And if that's not feeling aligned, if it doesn't feel safe, if it feels icky to do this, then there's something there that's keeping us in that safe comfort zone. Now, another thing that I'd like for you to do is, you know how that feels, your offer, your program, showing up and selling that program or offer. You know how that feels right now. So now I want you to check in with, let's leave that aside for a second. And I want you to check in, if you had a tool right now, I'm looking for a tool. If you had a tool right now, and this tool helped someone who was having difficulty breathing, and this tool helped them to breathe, and you had this tool, and this tool was available to that person to help them breathe, and you knew without question that this would help that person breathe, would you offer this tool to that person? So the feeling that you're feeling right now, I want you to think of a whiteboard out in front of you. 0% is on the left and 100% is on the right. And this whiteboard right now is going to convey your alignment with how safe it feels, how aligned you feel with providing that service to that person or your clients, your audience. So thinking of that tool that you had that would help that person, that audience, your clients to breathe if they had trouble breathing, and you had the tool available. And you not only had the tool available, but you knew the steps to take to implement what had to be implemented so that that person could breathe properly. So how aligned would you feel? How easy, how safe would that feel to offer that? To show up, selling, sharing from your heart, in alignment with integrity. Where would that be on the whiteboard? Where would that be in percentage? Hopefully that's at 100%. Now I want you to feel into your offer, your business, your program, you as a healer, you as a coach, and I want you to put that on the same whiteboard in front of you. What percentage of that offer feels safe, feels aligned, feels like you are available to show up and provide that service to your client, to your audience? And if it's different than that other one, that's okay. Now I want you to check back in with the throat chakra. And I want you to check back in with the inner child archetype. And you can check and see if there's any tension in the throat regarding your offer. And I want you to check and see how the inner child feels around showing up and providing your offer. Now I'd like you to grab that offer and bring it up. Like, this is your whiteboard. This is actually your subconscious mind. This is how you're communicating and relaying this message to your subconscious mind of what you want instead. So you're actually going to grab that, whatever it is, your offer, whatever percentage it is. I'm thinking 40%. So if you grab 40% and you drag the 40% up to 100%, so that your offer feels the same and looks the same to your subconscious mind as that tool does that helps people to breathe. Your service, your offer, your program, you as a healer, you as a coach, your services are just as important, especially right now. So you're going to grab that percentage, grab that offer, and drag it up to align with the 100%. Align with feeling the same as if you had that tool to help people breathe. It's the same. And as you're dragging that, as you're bringing that up, I want you to feel into your throat chakra. And now we're going to get into the specifics of the throat chakra. What is my fixation with the throat chakra today? The throat chakra's shadow aspect is fear of criticism. So when we're showing up and selling at any time, we may have a fear of criticism. We may have a history of criticism in our life, right? And especially right now, when there's a whole bunch of anxiety and there's a whole bunch of fear and there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, we may feel unsure about showing up and shining our light. And we are so needed to shine our light right now. So taking a deep breath, feeling into your throat chakra, and I want you to feel into and see if there's any resistance in your throat chakra about showing up, about serving and offering what you do. And I want you to feel into your throat chakra to see if there's any resistance about bringing your offer up to 100% to align with that tool that was at 100%. Now, checking in with the inner child who may or may not have some reservations or resistance around aligning this together, or letting go of the fear of criticism that might be keeping you safe. So checking in again with your inner child and going, hey, is this okay to maybe ease up on that resistance? Is it okay to play with this energy a little bit? Is it okay to show up in a different way? And I have some questions and some anchor statements that I'd love for you to work with. If this is something that you're struggling with, I hope that this will allow you to show up in a different way. So those statements or anchor statements are, it's enough for me to accept myself as I am. So we're not looking outside of ourselves for validation. We're working with the throat chakra and the solar plexus work together a lot. The solar plexus is our personal power. And we do need a lot of that personal power, that alignment, that balance to work with the throat chakra so that we can show up as our true self with our personal power and speak our mind. So it's enough for me to accept myself as I am. As you say that, feel into how that feels. You can muscle test that. You can see if that feels aligned, that feels safe. You can check in with the throat chakra. You can check in with the inner child. The next anchor statement I'd love for you to check into is, it's safe for me to honor my creativity. It's safe for me to honor my creativity. I just washed my hair, y'all. And so now it's going frizzy. Okay, checking in again with your throat chakra and your inner child. It's safe for me to honor my creativity. The next anchor statement I'd love for you to check in with is, my voice is valuable and needed. You can check in also with, my offer, my services are valuable and needed. Check in with these and test your throat chakra, test your inner child. Some questions that you can check in with, because I love creating with questions. Love it. So what can I choose right now to feel enough? What can I choose right now to feel accepted, just as I am? Another one is, if I was committed to feeling enough, what would that look like? Or if I was committed to feeling safe enough so that I was honoring my creativity, what would that look like? Checking in again, checking in with your body, checking in with your throat chakra, checking in with your inner child, and checking in to see if there's any fear of criticism around these statements, around these questions. Asking your inner child, is that safe to step into? And before I get to the last question, I want to kind of, as an aside, I thought about this the other day. I've seen a lot of really well-known coaches or just influencers online talking about people who are an adult who are still dealing with childhood trauma. And they kind of came at it from a viewpoint of, it's kind of shameful to still be needing to deal with that. And I'm here to tell you, I worked for Behavior Support Ontario for a few years. And we went into nursing homes, what the behavior support team does is they go into nursing homes and they monitor and they attempt to help residents in long-term care facilities who are having behaviors that are disruptive to the long-term care facility. And the long-term care homes have done all that they can, and they don't want to take pharmaceutical action. They just want to curb the behavior or, treat the behavior. Maybe there's a UTI, maybe there's something going on that's causing that resident to have these outbursts. And probably a high percentage, 80 to 90%, if there was not a medical condition that was causing it, like a UTI, if there was not a medical condition causing that, that resident was reacting to emotional trauma from their childhood. So think about that. Think about all the stuff that we are dealing with in our life, and we think that once we get into the golden age and we retire and we can sit in our rocking chair on the front porch with our tea and watch the sunset and watch our grandchildren and look back on our life with happiness and joy. And I really want that to be true for every single one of us, every single person. But that scares me when I watched that, when I witnessed that during my time with that organization. That scared me. Because these people, with dementia or not, with Alzheimer's or not, they were reacting and they were still being tormented by childhood trauma. And I don't want that for anybody. We can release the grip of that trauma. We can dissolve those fears, those situations from the past, those emotional triggers that are triggering the inner child, that are triggering the shadow archetypes, the victim, the saboteur, the prostitute. There's 6 inner child archetypes. We can dissolve and appease those archetypes so that we can release that emotional trauma. It is possible. So when we're diving into this work, it's really beautiful work to uproot those anchored limitations or beliefs or thought processes or triggers. And it's important for us to not be shamed as doing that, because this work is really important. And it's not up to anybody else to say whether or not it's good or bad that an adult is dealing with childhood trauma. I think a lot of people are dealing with trauma or emotional triggers tied to their past. And if you're stepping up to heal that, then I applaud you. And that's what should be done. It's tough work. And I hope these tools that I'm offering you right now do prevent any other trigger or reaction that slips back into that past trauma for you. These are really simple techniques and tools, but they are super effective. So I hope that they do create for you. If you want to dive deeper into the inner child stuff, dive deeper into those roots, then I have spots available right now for my Wonder program that taps into all of the inner child archetypes, the shadow aspects, the shadow archetypes, and we create this new story that aligns you with your goal and your target in life so that you can consciously create with ease. So please message me if you're interested in that. But let's get back into our last question to create something different. So the last question to use with these anchor statements is, what would it take for me to accept myself as I am? What would it take for me to feel safe enough to honor my creativity? And what would it take for me to feel or be or act as the value I am and as needed as I am? So I hope that these questions do create for you. You can write these down. You can do this process again and again. You can write the anchor statements down and create. And what I like to do and what I tell my clients and my students is, when you're using these anchor statements to create, what you can really do is you can write down things that you would like to create right before bed. You can feel grateful for the things you already have in your life. And look at those things that you've written down that you would like to create next. And then you can use this anchor statement process, create an anchor statement with one of these things. Just do one at a time. Throughout the day, you can think of the other ones. But as you're falling asleep, pick one and really create a really short anchor statement. Like, it's safe for me to honor my creativity. So it's safe for me to receive my 3 clients right now. It's safe for me to create 10,000 in my business this month. It's safe for me to have the healthiest body that I can at this time. Whatever that may be for you. And then you feel into the gratitude. You repeat that anchor statement as you're falling asleep. And this is a fantastic process to create really, really, really easily. I hope this helps you create with ease. I will see you next time. Have a fabulous day wherever you're joining me from. And I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.